For today's game dev update, I decided to fix the screen that you see here. This is what it looked like before. It was really janky. I had to click and then I couldn't figure out how to get the text to look right. So I changed it by looking up this code that I modified where now it pops up as the voice box, like at the bottom. And then it's more smooth and prettier and it's the same font, which I also changed. I imported different fonts to make it creepier. I added this exit, which prompts a dialogue response of yes or no. And then if you hit no, you can, move on with the story versus not. So here in my code, it took me forever to figure out you can actually change the position of your image buttons. So know that. And it's based on the canvas size you chose initially, which you can change in the GUI. So here is an example of one of my buttons. I just used the standard question mark image, hover variation versus the none. And then I ended up making this screen per button that I'll then call in on my script file as a master layer. And I had then created this like output, which I just kept the same variable of center. Let me scroll through here. Scrolling. I gotta figure out a better way to organize my code here. Okay, so here's the code in the actual file. The other code you saw was just for the buttons. And I have lots of comments if you're interested here in the code. So essentially for the output, I'm calling all three of the buttons here on the screen of these question marks in the master layer so they appear all at once and you can interact with them with this UI.interact function. As my output that you saw in the other file, here's the example. I have this dialogue happening, and then this is my janky way of figuring out how to escape by giving a menu option. So if they would have clicked no, then they could go interact with these other question marks. And if they click yes, they advance with the story. Another update I did besides the font and this fix on the screens was to make the dialogue menu choices more aesthetically pleasing for my horror game. And then I still need to go back and, clean up my code so the old stuff isn't still there. Thanks for listening. I'll be back in 2 weeks with another update.